Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Lynn Wilson. I'm glad you're joining me today. I hope you're doing well. I have something just so simple, it's almost not worth coming on here about, but how many of you sometimes need a night where you just throw dinner together? So tonight I probably worked about a 10.5 hour day. We had a big conference. I came home exhausted and I'm like, I got to get dinner together. I just got to do this. I got to throw it together. So as you can see in the picture, I literally grabbed a few tidbits that I had, and I had four potatoes that were starting to get a little soft. And it was like, it's time to use them. So I thought I could make mashed potatoes, my husband's favorite. I had a bag of corn in the freezer, my son's favorite. I have toast, everybody's favorite. And then I have a can of roast beef with gravy. How do you make it any simpler? I boiled the potatoes for 20 minutes, made mashed potatoes, warmed up the corn, made corn, toast in the toaster, slapped some butter on it, added the can of roast beef. I put the gravy and the roast beef on my potatoes, and I ate the corn separate, made it like an open-faced sandwich for my husband. So you know what? Is it absolutely perfect dinner? Is it a win-win? I'll tell you why it's a win-win. Because it came from my pantry. I used up leftover corn that I had in the freezer. Toast, I have to use the bread up before, another couple of days. It's not going to be any good. I had a can in my pantry of roast beef, and I had 4 potatoes that were ready to go. There you go. It's a win-win. It took me the longest part of it was 20 minutes boiling the potatoes. The corn was ready in 5 minutes, 3 minutes in the microwave for the roast beef. How long does toast take in the toaster? Okay, if you want to account for putting the butter on the toast. But it's a win-win because I didn't have to go out, pick up takeout. I didn't have to call for delivery. From the beginning to the end, in less than 30 minutes, I had a hot meal on the table for the 3 of us that did not cost me that much at all. The can of roast beef was $3. The potatoes, I don't know, $1. The corn was already I had a huge big bag of corn. It was big. And I got it months and months and months ago at Walmart for $5. And it's, there's only 3 of us, so we've been eating that down. I have probably enough to do one more meal out of it. But I'm telling you, the meal was pennies. And I was just thinking, why not share that with you? How many of you come home from work? You're a family of 1 or more. And you're just like, I don't know what to do. I don't feel like doing takeout. I don't want to call for something. I don't want to pick it up. I got to throw dinner together in a hurry. I'm starving. Now, I didn't have lunch today. My lunch ended up not being a good lunch. I made a sandwich and something was off and it ended up it went in the trash. So I skipped lunch, ate breakfast this morning, and then worked a 10.5 hour day. So I needed to throw a dinner together. So did it have a green vegetable? No. Do you always have to have a green vegetable? No. You know what? My grandmother, my father, probably my great-grandparents survived on a lot less than we think we need to eat. I listened to my dad's stories of when he was a kid during the Depression and the things that they ate. They ate basic. They ate super simple. And I think sometimes we overemphasize, you must have. Now, in the world of perfection, there is a food pyramid and we should eat all those things. Absolutely, yes. I don't live in a world of perfection. I live in the world of reality. And throwing together a dinner to get it on the table and get everybody fed where they feel satisfied, they feel good. So what could we do to maybe enhance it? Here you go. I'm going to show you a picture. I got a bowl of fruit. I got some apples and pears. I was so excited. A friend called me today and she there's a church that does a community thing and they give out boxes of free produce to anyone. Doesn't matter income or anything like that. She usually goes at the end of the day and whatever's left, she can just partake in that. So she had a bunch of stuff, and in that was some pears and some apples. And So she brought that. So we've got a bowl of pears and apples. I'm going to have a pear. My son and husband will probably have an apple. Have a piece of fruit with that. And of course, a cup of coffee, probably from the French press. For those of you wondering if I liked my French press, do I use it? I don't use it all often because it does take a few more minutes and I'm not always here to do that. But a night like tonight where I'm home, I got a Christmas movie playing over here on my TV. I'm going to make some French press, grab a pear, sliced apple, whatever. We can have a piece of fruit with it and I'm good to go. It's great. It's fantastic. What can you throw together? Just look for those little bits and pieces that you have. You don't have to have the perfect meal. It doesn't have to win an award picture on Pinterest. It has to feed you, give you some nourishment, get you through, sustain you to the next meal. And it's okay that it doesn't always have greens or a salad or anything like that. My dad grew up with baked beans on toast. I know we've talked about that before. Is that the win-win? Yes. It filled the belly, gave him some nutrition, and it's okay. It's okay. And I think sometimes we don't give ourselves enough grace to say it is okay to throw together a meal like that. It's okay that it's not the perfect, all the veggies and all the rest. So tomorrow you add, an extra green in there, or you do something like that. It's okay. It's okay. So I have a question for you guys. I need some help. I'm asking you for help. So in that box of veggies I got bok choy. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but I got some. I don't know. I maybe have eaten it and just never known it, but I actually had to use a Google Lens. I had to take a picture of it and for it to tell me I've never seen that vegetable before. I've heard of it. So now I have it. What do I do with it? How do I cook it? Anybody have good recipes? Or do I roast it in the oven like, garlic and olive oil and salt and pepper? What do you do? How do you serve it? Is it a side dish? Do you add it with something? Do you make a meal? Like, what do you do with it? I'd love to use it up in the next day or two. Also, I could use some help. I have fresh beets. I've got a bunch of real tiny ones. I love beets. I buy them in a jar. I don't like them warmed up. I like my beets nice and cold. That's the way I like it on a salad. But I've never had, I want to say real beets. I know that sounds funny because I buy it in a jar. But I've never had fresh beets that I can cook and prepare myself. So anybody that has any tips or suggestions to help me out on how can I cook my fresh beets, I would love to know that as well. So great news, guys. I am overwhelmed and I'm telling you, I know I am so behind on comments. I just got to get caught up. I have a few days coming up in the near future. Well, but I will be off for a few days, probably hitting the road for a few days, getting away with my husband. And I am taking my laptop and I'm nailing out all of the comments and getting back to all of you. But I skim. Sometimes that's all I can do is skim. Wow. My Friday morning chats with Lynn and are we canceling Thanksgiving? What a hit. I cannot believe the response to that Friday morning chat. Thank you so much. My husband was reading the comments and he's like, this is so cool. And he said, he texted me at work and he said, Team GLG Wilson doing great. So I just want to thank all of you who watched the video, who left a comment, gave it a thumbs up. Thank you so much. It was just so encouraging. You pull these videos together, you come up with ideas. I take time out of my personal schedule, out of my home, out of my family's time to reach out to you guys and try and bring you some content and something encouraging. And I don't know, I'm winging this. I'm not a professional. This is not acting. This is at home with me. So just to have you respond in such a positive way, really, thank you so much. And again, I mentioned if there's a topic you want to talk about that you can think of, leave a comment. My Living with a Disability will be coming up very shortly. And I did get a lot of people responding to that. That's a little bit of a more specialized video. I mean, it's open to anybody, but some of you might not be able to relate because that just doesn't fit who you are, which is fine. That will be Tuesdays at 10 a.m. But there are some heavy questions in there, and I'm going to do my best to answer them. And I'll tell you, here it is. I'm going to tell you from my life experience as a caregiver. I probably will have Graham on there once in a while talking with me. I would like to get my oldest son's perspective on some of the things. Some of you asked how he coped with some things, and so I'm going to ask him, would he be willing to come along and answer some questions that you all have asked. And I don't know if my youngest son would be willing to jump on here, but I'm definitely going to ask him if he would be willing to answer some questions. But I'm going to do my best to give you whatever encouragement and direction that I can give you. I'm not a licensed anything. I have no degree in anything like that. I'm a mom and a wife and a woman who has lived with disabilities for 35 years now, 35 plus years actually, and I'm going to just share what I can with you about that. So listen, throw your dinner together, guys. Grab what you can, go to the refrigerator and just find those bits and pieces. That 2 carrots I got to use up, I got 1 potato, I got a half an onion, I got a little bit of whatever, and maybe make a little broth and make it into a soup. Throw something together. Thrown together dinners are winner dinners. So thanks for coming over tonight. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to leave some pictures at the end of this video of a craft that we are teaching where I work at a conference, made out of old Easter eggs. So do you have those plastic eggs at home and you don't know what to do with them? You got to look at these pictures, check them out. Think you're going to like it. Just wanted to share it with you. Okay, guys, we'll catch you all on the next video.